everyone, and welcome back to another video in our series of Trade on Sports horse racing application portals. And in this we go thoroughly through zone betting, what it is and how you place your bets. Now I did a video a week or so ago, and I think it was a little bit too advanced for some people because we used automated betting like Betfair bot manager to put on our bets. But in this video I'm going to show you very simply how we go through today's racing, and stay tuned to the end because there's some nice nuggets, Easter eggs at the end that I can tell you about that will also help you in your betting. So let's get started. So on logging into your Trade on Sports application portal, you will see here Trade on Sports horse racing, and once you open this up you'll be presented with a page which said race card summary and race card. So let's just take you through those. The race card summary is literally telling us all of the races we've got to do or to get through today from UK and Ireland, and also links to Betfair for placing the bets if you so desire to do it that way. We also have
ready to bet, 2 minutes to start.
Time alerts just to remind you that the race is about to start. Now beyond that we have to the top right race card, which is again a layout of all of today's racings. It's Sunday today, so not too busy, and here on the right we have our trading portal with all of our odds and also the latest prices. Now I do recommend following the link in the description below this video to understand the horse racing portal and what these columns mean. It's going to really help you. It's very simple, and once you've learnt that you can come back to this video and we'll take a look at how we do our zone betting. So first things first, and I've taken an example from a previous day's racing. What are zones? Well, if you look down the left hand column you can see zone 1, 2 and 3 respectively, and these are divided up by odds. Zone 1 is, if you think of the Betfair exchange, 1.01 through to 9.5 in decimal odds. Zone 2 is from 10.0 through to 19.5 in decimal odds, and Zone 3 is 20 bar the field, so anything over 20.0 on decimal odds up to 1,000. These are commonly known as Zone 1 being the favourites, Zone 2 being the second favourites, and Zone 3 being the outsiders. Now if you've watched the video on how the portal works, you'll understand that what we're looking for is only one horse in any of the zones to be backed in from 11 AM through to 3 minutes, and it's green, and its best book move, its bookmaker move, means it's taken a larger percentage of the book. So let's just go through that. If we take the current favourite here, we can see that he opened up at 11 AM at 4.0, and his price, it came in during the day and then kind of drifted back out. So what's happened is about an hour out his price has started to drift and then come back in slightly, and you can see his odds are 3.8 currently, just before the off. Now that does mean his price has come in, but it hasn't consistently come in. At some point in the last hour to 30 minutes he's drifted back out again, and that's not what we're looking for. A similar thing goes for what's going on Marvin, the second favourite. Again opened 4.6, currently 4.7, so a slight drift, and again from 11 AM he's wandered out, had some money come back in the last 15 minutes, wandered out again, and then some he's wandered out in the last 3 minutes, the late part, and his book price has moved in. He's taken a smaller percentage of the book as well, but once again the market is a little unstable and he's not been consistently bet upon from 11 AM, from our early bird price right through to just before the off. Now as you can see in this Zone 1 we come down to the third favourite, and his price actually is slightly higher than the remaining horse in Zone 1. This is because it doesn't numerically change. and we're just updating the Betfair odds here. However, what we need to note here is that from 11 a.m. right through to 3 minutes, he has consistently been backed in throughout the day, and we call that an all green, and that includes the best book move by the bookmakers. He's come in, he's taken 7.85% more of the book. Now all of these horses sit in zone 1. Paper Doll has drifted more or less all day long, so we're left with one horse in zone 1 that's been backed in from 11 a.m. That then becomes a selection. So if we go down to zone 2, we'll see something fairly similar. And don't forget, in zone 2, we're working with odds from 10 up to 19.5. So again, Billy No Mates opened up at 9.8, drifted out to 15, not very popular in the market. And we can see from these red squares at the 1 hour, sorry, from the 11 a.m. right through to 50 minutes out, he has drifted and is cold in the market. Coming down to Almafina, and here we have a solid green, an all green as we've mentioned. 11 a.m. opened at 21s, been backed into 18s and seen solid money all day long, and has taken obviously a smaller share of the book because he's more of a second favourite, moving towards an outsider. But because he is the only green, an all green in zone 2, he also becomes legible as a bet. And then finally we come down to zone 3, a similar sort of thing, a lot of drifters here, but solid money for Moonlit Stage in 80s into 36s during the day. So what does this all mean? Well, the first thing we've got to consider is that we have 3 zones, and in each zone, for us to back a horse, only one horse in that zone can be all green. For example, and I'll probably show you one a bit later in this video, if we had an all green on What's Going On Marvin, we would have 2 in zone 1, and we would not be backing either of those horses. We're just looking for one horse in any of the 3 zones. In this example, which is not that common, we've got 1 in each of the 3 zones. So what we'll be doing is we're backing all 3 of those horses in a race, and that is the most that you're ever going to back in a race. The next thing to explain in this video is that the stake we place is going to be relevant to the odds. So let's move on to that. Now it's very important, this part of the video, so listen carefully, because this is how we're going to manage your bankroll, because the staking is going to be different, relevant to the odds of the horse that we're backing. Now we know here we've got 1 horse in each zone that we need to back, so we'll be backing 3 horses. If, for example, the only green was in zone 1 was 50 Shades our Dev, we'd just back that. That would just be 1 bet. Supplied and available in the Telegram chat room is Jack Bickley, our brilliant in-house data analyst on horses, calculator. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open that up now. So this is how we organise our betting. We know that coming up just before the off, we've got 3 horses that we need to back. So if we look along the left-hand side, we've got the latest Betfair odds, and we'll be backing 3 horses in this race. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about the name. We can fill that in later. But we've got 50 Shades our Dev, and his current price is 9.2. Now, I'm going to start with a bankroll of 1,000. You don't need to keep 1,000 in the Betfair account. I'm just doing it for ease of purpose and to show you what you'll be staking. Now, as you can see, we put the decimal odds in. We've got our bankroll. This will be compounded at the end of each day, whether it goes up or down. So at the odds of 9 to 2, our implied probability is 10.87, and the recommended stake is 0.42% of our bankroll, and that's going to be £4.16. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop that into the pending column, and that will add that horse to our list. So I'm going to type in the name. I'm just going to put What's Going. And we pop that in, and that's gone into our tracker. So we have our first bet. We'll come to the Betfair bit in a second. Now, as we move down into the second favourites area, which is zone 2, we can see that we've got Amalfina, who is all green and wants to be backed too. And their odds are, let's put the name in, make it easier. Amalfina, and we've got odds of 18. So instantly again, same implied probability of 5.5% chance of winning. And for this bet, we need to stake an amount of £2.7 on Almina. So once again, we just pop in the pending, and that's recorded for us. Pending can be updated when the race is finished. And our final bet in this example is down in the outsiders zone, and that's Moonlit stage at 36. As you see on the right hand side, Jack's actually divided these up into zones anyway and highlighted that there were 3 bets. So we got Moonlight at 36 and pending. So now we have 3 horses running in this race. And again, like I said, this is a historical one that I've taken. So let's just assume a scenario. Our profit and loss is 0. Obviously, it's our first race. Our average stake has not been calculated yet. And the race has taken place, and what's going on has won the race. So the next thing we do is we just mark the horse as 1, and of course, obviously, the other 2 horses have lost. Now, instantly what that does is it tells us that we've won £31 2p, but we've also lost £3 9p on the other selections. So this is how it works. You can see that if we're backing a horse that's going to be in the favourite zone 1, we're going to be backing more money. And if we're backing zone 2 and 3, we're going to be backing or ratcheting down our stake. Now, this is really important because it's going to control your bankroll. And it's going to mean that you might have 7, 8 losers, 1 or 2 winners, and you're going to finish in profit. And this is probably the most important part of the video. So there's an example of how to bet 3 different horses in 3 different zones when there is only 1 green in all 3 zones. So let's move on. If we call up Betfair, and I'm just going to use a race here just to give you an example, we'll call up the calculator because this is how you'd be putting your bets on if you didn't have any automation. You can use betting toolkit, BetAngel if you have that. I do recommend that you go over to betting toolkit. Betting toolkit is a great piece of software. It's got a lot more in it than BetAngel. These guys are really good. They're Italian guys, and you get a free trial, 24/7 support, free trial for 2 weeks, and for $59 a year, it's really worth it. You can just Dutch your bets in an instant. But in this example, I'm going to show you how to put these bets on Betfair. So, what did we have before? Just take a look back at the card. We had 50 Shades of Dev at 9.2. And I'm just doing this on a different race. I'm just going to put the odds in so you can see. And our calculator told us that it should be a stake of £4.16 there. And for our second horse, we had Amalfina at 18s. So once again, just going to pick a horse from the zone 2 if you like, and pop in 18 and with a stake of £2.7. Now I should add the calculator doesn't take into account commission because everyone's commission is different. I have 2%. Some people prefer the best odds guaranteed and prefer to have a 5% commission and use more of the Betfair services. And the final horse in our betting, Moonlit stage at 36. And for that, the calculator required us to place a bet of £1.2. So just we'll pop down here to the outsiders, put 36 in, £1.2. And that's it. You can see down the left-hand side the potential returns. Now, what's interesting to note is, and what I mentioned earlier, is that the returns on all of these three selections are going to be more or less the same. And you might be thinking, well, you know, I've backed to 36 to 1 horse here, and it's won, and I'm only getting the same as what the favourite would have won. Well, the reason behind that is because if you start backing horses that are 36 to 1 with the same stake as a favourite, you're going to lose your bankroll, because probably suggests that the favourite's going to win 33% of the time. So this is the clever thing about the staking calculator, and it's something you must use when you're doing your bets. Okay, moving on, another example of a race, and you're going to see this a lot of times during your racing day. In this example, we don't have a definitive horse that's been taking money all day. And once again, we see what Jack's done. He's broken it into the zones. Zone 1 here, Zone 2 and Zone 3. Now, if we look down the columns from the early morning betting through to the late betting and the book price movements, we can see that not one single horse has fulfilled our criteria to bet. And that is a simple case of just moving on to the next. The market clearly is unsure of what's happening here. Possibly Kalinsky, but we saw that from 11 a.m. it's actually drifted out from 2.78 to 3.1. So if you see a race like this, and all three zones, there is not one single clear all green horse, it's a swerve, and you move on to the next race. Okay, so now we're moving on to our final example, and after this I'm going to show you some races that were recorded live. In this example, again, three zones, and this occasion we have a clear favourite in Zone 1, a clear favourite in Zone 2, all green, and looking down to the Zone 3, nothing of interest. Now the prices here are obviously after the race is finished, because it's an example I'm showing to you. So on this occasion, once again, if we were live betting before the race, we would call up our calculator, and we were going to put Penn Avenue in, and let's just say, for example, Penn Avenue was 6 to 4. Yep, and again down here, telling you your stake amount based on your bankroll, goes into pending. Then you would be looking at interest in the Zone 2 second favourites column, Azuzi. So once again, entering that in. And let's call him, if he's in Zone 2, he's going to be above 9.5. Let's call him 11. And pending. And once again, into the tracker, those results go in for you to update at the end of the race as won or lost. And of course, you would be also placing those on Betfair, as I showed you earlier in the video. So that's zones, really. Different types of zones. Sometimes you'll be betting, other times you'll be betting 3 or just 1, or you just won't be betting for 3 or 4 races. It's just the way that, you know, each race day obviously is different. So let's have a look at a couple of video examples of this in action. Right, okay guys, here we are back for the 7:35 at Epsom 1 mile 4 handicap 7 runners. I did skip last race. There was a couple of greens in the zone, so I didn't bother recording it. So I'm just looking at this one now, 1 minute out. We've kind of got a similar situation here. Well, this is slightly changing. It looks like the second favourite. It's been supported. 11 a.m. price was 7.2 into 3.95. Quite the move there for this horse. Now what you'll see with this Betfair graph is it tells you nothing. But this tells you everything you know. It's a simple traffic light system. So we're a minute out. I'm waiting here. Don't forget zeros are greens. And there's a possible outsider here. Open at 23s into 17s. Might get backed in a bit more. In fact, yes it has. It's gone 0. So we are at the 1 minute mark, and we now have 2 bets to do. So let's do them. So we've got one in Zone 1, which is 2.78 to 6, and we've got an outsider down here. Well, actually it is in Zone 2. Yeah. So we're going to do 2 bets here. One's going to be Sanitizer, and one is going to be Gordon Gray, which is all green. So let's go and do those. So we've got a 4.1 of Gordon Green. We'll fill the name in later. And it's asking us for a £3 for stake. So straight over to Betfair. And we're on Gordon Gray, 3.85. Prices again moved. It's coming in quite considerably. 3.5. We'll take that. That's a £3.27 bet. We'll stick that on. Now we've got to look at the Zone 2 second favourite. Is 15 to 1, Sanitizer. So we're going to pop in Sanitizer at 15s. Once again, we'll fill it in. Now 75 pence. This is where it gets a bit tricky. You've got to be quick here. So Sanitizer, you're going to do the old £1,001 bet. And we need 75 pence on that. So we're going to do it £1.75. Then we're going to cancel the £1 bet and put in the odds for the 75p. So the current odds 16, that will do, that's on. So both our bets placed, we've got two horses in two different zones running in this race. So you can see here, zone 2, 11 to 16, and outsiders is nothing, and we've got a favourite, or a fancied horse here, which is similar. We've been well back, Gordon Gray, so let's see what's happened. We've got two runners here, and we'll fill in the tracker once the race is done. If you notice that we've been on this, for like about 10 races, but we've only really got interested in 2 or 3 races. So again, this is a really good way of controlling your betting and only betting horses that are fancied in the market or where there is money for. This is what makes this system so unique. Not too sure about the Sky pictures at the moment. My internet connection is pretty good, but we'll see. Let's turn the volume on. They're at the post. It's coming around. I mean, if you want, really, you can wait until the last minute and check the Betfair odds and adjust your stakes accordingly. When you've got a horse that is 15s, it's not going to come into the zone 1 at 9.5 unless something ridiculous happens. So let's just reiterate. Sanitizer, grey, 0 means green. Open at 23s, into 16.5. Well backed since this morning, but also very well backed is Gordon Gray. Let's see what happens. Let's hope we get a winner. Just while we're waiting, we can fill in the bets. Sanitizer at 16. Well, it's gone to 16 now. I think we backed him at 15, so we'll put 15 in. He's drifted a bit, and we stick that in the pending column. And we've just got Gordon Gray at 4s, now into 3.5, so we've got some value there. So again, pop him in, Gordon Gray, plenty of time to do this. And he's in at 4s, means our stake was £3.12. The difference slightly is because of the Betfair commission and the way we haven't adjusted our bankroll. But we're talking pennies, so don't worry too much about it. So we put them in the pending, go to the tracker, and we can see that we've got 2 horses running pending, and we'll update the result after the race.
And has done so now by about a length and a half. Buxted 2, and then Pride of Nepal improving strongly on the outside, followed then by Qatari. A lot to do for Sanitizer as they come down the home straight, and also One Cool Dreamer struggling badly. Gordon Gray a bidding to strike again here, being chased by Pride of Nepal, who looks the only possible danger. This field so well strung out, and Gordon Gray, who looked magnificent beforehand, is going to do it again surely. From the back, One Cool Dreamers making some late inroads, but Gordon Gray is impressively 8 to 10 lengths clear. A tremendous win in the Ladies' Derby once again. Gordon Gray is home. Brodie Hampson lands the big prize. Pride of Nepal in second place, tight for third there between One Cool Dreamer and Buxted 2.
And there you have it. That's the perfect example. I mean, look, he won by a country mile. And look at the price at the start. Look at the price he went off. Brilliant. So let's have a look at the Betfair, because I traded out at round about Well, he didn't even get taken. So Gordon Gray is a winner, and oh yeah, it's just updated. So I took about a 15% hit. Obviously, I wish I hadn't because he won by a street, but there's going to be occasions where, you know, he gets touched off on the line. We got a £7.41 winner on Gordon Gray. Let's have a look at that on here. Clear favourite, well backed, high percentages, and look at the difference and the book market move on him from the morning. Very rarely moved. 11 a.m. Yeah, his price improved 45% between 11 a.m. and the off, and we pick up a really nice winner. Should point out that C1.1 is a portal alert on Telegram as well. This is a different kind of bet, and one we also offer for people who just want to follow the alerts and back on your phone. So great win there, great example. There you go. That's a lovely win. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add that to our profit and loss in the tracker made by Jack Bickley. Okay, so this is minus obviously my fee for trading out here at 150. So take off the 150 from that, and we've won 831. So straight down to the calculator, and we've already put them in. And now what we can do is we go Gordon Gray, Marcus won, Sanitizer, he was an outsider, lost. Now you see what's happened. We've had 4 bets, we've made £5.28. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we're only working with a £300 bankroll. So this is a perfect example of how the portal works and how we follow the money. Our members kind of have their own strategies, and of course that's what Trade on Sports is all about. We don't say bet every race and do this and do that. We're not tipsters. My preference here, and when I look at a day's racing, is to have a minimum amount of runners from 6 to 12. Well, why is that? Well, I find that anything below 6 horses, 5 runner races below, can be oddly run, odd pace, you know, pacemakers, slow pace, etc. Also, I exclude subtypes sometimes. So what does that mean? It means that I'm really looking at handicaps rather than maidens, novices, where you've got markets with 2-year-old horses that are quite green. It limits my betting. Handicap, I feel more comfortable because I feel that there's more form there and that the money going into the market is more relevant. But you don't have to do that. I would recommend definitely when you start, just paper trade using the calculator and the portal, as you have seen in the video today. I also just do Great Britain as well. This is a Sunday, there's not many races, but I'll be doing them and I'll probably be recording them as well. So you can apply any type of filter you like to these races, which really helps. And to give you another example of something excellent, which has been sent to us by one of our members, he run a filter. So I want to give you another example of a member who's used his own filters and has done really well. He's decided, and based on his use of the portal, that he backs horses only in a range of 4 to 8, and as you can see, he's kept his profit and loss there, and that's looking pretty good. So again, all of these angles for you to explore, all you're doing is following the money and then seeing, okay, what works for you? Am I just going to back favourites here? Am I just going to do zone 2 horses where the odds are higher? And so on and so forth. And as we develop this software, of course, we'll be talking about this in the chat room. We'll be updating stuff. We're collecting data all the time. We've been testing this for a year and we're very happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, drop us a line at admin at tradeonsports.co.uk, and don't forget to check out the links in the bottom of this description. Like and subscribe our video for more updates and information. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the horse chat room very soon.